Good morning to everyone in Central and East and Western Time, and good afternoon to everyone on Eastern Time. My name is Philip Smallwood. This will be about my third or fourth Google Hangout, and today I will be discussing a new research report that we just released that I actually authored. That is the worldwide market for lamps. And when we talk about lamps, we are mostly talking about A lamp, MR lamps, reflector lamps, and tube lamps, or T lamps as we call them, which are dominated by the fluorescent market. So this report will go over each of those lamp shapes, and it also with a forecast through 2022 for each of those lamp shapes. And something that we've actually changed at Strategies Unlimited, which I feel is very important, is we've included all the technologies that we feel dominate these markets. So while Strategies Unlimited used to only focus on the LED industry, we felt it was very important to actually include all the other technologies that are installed in the world and the market for those technologies as well. The reason we are doing this is because I always like to say LED technologies are not being installed in a vacuum. They're actually replacing technologies and different shapes that have been in the industry and in the marketplace for generations. So it's really important to understand how those markets will evolve to have a true understanding about how LEDs will actually penetrate those markets, because each one of these technologies has its own characteristics which make them useful or not useful, or make them liked or unliked in a certain region and application. So we felt it was really important to really cover incandescent, halogen, compact fluorescent, and fluorescent technologies, in addition to the LED technologies that Strategies Unlimited has covered in the past. So we feel like this is a new dynamic way of viewing the market that gives us a better understanding of how to view penetration of LEDs into the market, not by guessing how large a market can get, but actually by seeing how big a market can get by seeing what it's replacing on that market as well. So I am excited about this. This is a new study that we're releasing, which is actually preceding a Luminaire report that will be coming out later this month as well, which will also cover all the other technologies that I just mentioned. So we're very excited to see what the response will be. We actually have seen some very interesting data and some very interesting forecasting because we were able to view the market in this way. In addition to expanding the technologies that we use, we've also developed our own installed base model, which covers several different the major applications in the world of where lighting is installed. And what this has allowed us to do is really see how different applications will evolve with the penetration of LEDs. And what I mean by applications is we cover something like the residential sector to see how many light technologies are installed in each in the residential sector in a region, and by shape as well. So as an example, we've determined how many incandescent A lamps are installed in residential applications in North America, which allows us to better understand how LEDs will be penetrating this market again. The regions covered in this report include North America, Latin America, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, China, Japan, and the rest of the world. So this increased breakout of this increased breakout of the regions also allows us to determine how better LEDs will penetrate the market, because each one of these regions has its different different dynamics that drive the adoption of different lighting technologies, or the usage of different lighting technologies. So we feel that this report actually will give the most the best overview of the global lighting lamp market, specifically with LEDs being the major factor that we're looking at. I did want to show all of you some examples of what we're actually of what the report would actually look like. So I have some excerpts of the actual report that I think you would find interesting. So this is the worldwide market for lamps, and when I say lamps, I mean A lamps, MR lamps, reflector lamps, and T lamps. These are the regions that we cover in the report. And I would also like to say that the report is actually a dynamic report where with multiple hyperlinks that allow you to click on each region. Each region is broken out by application. Each application has the lamp shape and technology. So you can basically reach anywhere in the report by clicking a few buttons, which makes it a very easy, intuitive way of viewing the data and sharing the data with people within your industry as well, or your company as well. So we feel like this is a good addition to the way SU is presenting its data as well. So basically, what you can see here is global A-lamp, reflector, MR, and T-lamp market. We've seen some interesting numbers are that LED lamps actually only account for about 2.5% of the total lamp shipments in 2014. This is interesting because they comprise more than 20% of the total revenue for these lamp technologies or lamp shapes. And the reason for that is, of course, that the high ASPs of LEDs will drive up that market and make it a larger portion of the market. And this is what makes the LED lamp market so attractive to people wishing to make their living within the lighting industry. Of course, LEDs are driven in North America, Western Europe, Japan, and China, mostly developing regions that are adopting LEDs on a faster pace. But of course, China, with its decreased ASPs, is adopting LED technologies on a fast pace as well. Much of the report, we get to see the breakout of A-lamps. So as an example, I'm giving the A-lamp market for the global market, and you get to see each technology, as you do here, with each shape. Each technology with a forecast through 2022. We did believe that it was important to give the forecast through 2022 because it's important to see how socket saturation and the lifetime of LEDs will actually affect the overall lamp market. As an example, in my previous chart, we can see on the left is the total number of shipments of lamps. And as you can see, the total number of shipments of lamps is going to from around 14 billion units in 2014 to around only 8 billion units in 2022. And the reason for that is that socket saturation that I discussed previously. I also wanted to show you an example of this. This is the global A-lamp install base forecast. And when we talk about the forecast and the install base, this allows us to see how that market will be growing in the future by seeing how many other technologies are already installed there. So as you can see, incandescent is the purple chart on the top, makes up a good portion of these global A-lamps installed in the world today. What this allows us to do is see the replacement rates of these lamps, the hours usage, and allows us to see how quickly LEDs would be penetrating these markets if we were only looking at the burnout rate of these lamps. Of course, certain applications do have proactive replacements that are used before a lamp will burn out, but this installed base really gives us the tool to determine how quickly and how a market can grow and how quickly that market will become saturated. So we can see by 2022, half of all the installed base of A-lamps will actually be LED lamps, which is the light bar chart that you see on the top in 2022. So this installed base tool really does give us a head up on what's going on in these markets and how they will evolve. As another example, we have the global T-lamp market, which is dominated, of course, by fluorescent right now. We see that in 2014, there's about 3.4 billion units shipped for this shape, which is really important because it is one of those highly dominated. It is one of those markets that is actually huge when you look at it compared to other lamp shapes. But what's interesting here is the contrast that we see with the actual penetration of LEDs for these with these fluorescent T-lamps. We can see that in actually 2022, out of 17 billion lamp shipments, only about 3.2 billion of those will be T-lamps, will be actually LEDs. So we do see that the penetration of LEDs into these applications is much slower than with regards to A-lamps, where the benefits of LEDs are actually so much more pronounced. So this is actually a very interesting finding from the report and allows us to see it through 2022. I just wanted to give another example of how our installed base model works. Here's the North American A-lamp installed base forecast for residential applications. And so we have all those regions that we covered earlier. We can see it for residential. We can see our numbers for office space. We can see our numbers for industrial, healthcare, retail, hospitality, and other applications as well is lumped together at the end. But this gives us a really good view of the market, of how these markets per shape, per technology, per application will evolve. And we have each one of these numbers broken out for each one of these lamp shapes. So it's actually a very, very dynamic report that has a tremendous amount of data. Additionally, I would like to say that we will be providing the Excel data for this report as well. So you will be able to create any table that we have in this report. You can actually create on your own when you buy this report. So you can, if you're if you're inclined to look at the MR16 market for retail applications in China, you will be able to see specifically the unit shipments, revenues, and installed base of the retail sector for those lamp shapes, with a forecast through 2022 for the installed base and the market. So to be honest, I really do feel like this is a very dynamic report, which will allow you to view the market in a different way, and we are very pleased with the results that we found so far. So that's a basic description of the lamp market report that we just came out with, and it took a tremendous amount of work, and we're actually very happy with the results. So if you have any questions, I would love to speak to you if you have any questions, doubts, or would just like to discuss the overall report in general. We are more than open to questions. So if we receive any questions, please feel free to contact me now through this Google Hangout. Or additionally, you can always contact me at philips@penwell.com. That's PHILIPS@penwell.com. Or you can always reach out to me as well at my phone number. It's 512-632-9612. So I look forward to hearing back from you, your comments or questions, and I appreciate you taking the time to listening to what I had to say today. And this will be the first of many Google Hangouts where I will be presenting specific lamp data that I feel is pertinent to the market. So stay tuned for future presentations on the lamp and luminaire market, as it is evolving quickly, and there is some really important stuff going on right now. So thank you so much, and I will talk to you later.